but it was just before this, and Berger then couldn't come out. Because he would have driven into Mansell, couldn't go left because of the grass, and in fact, he didn't get past anybody. And here is the first of the front runners in the for the tyres. That must be Prost, and I was just about to say it is now about the right moment to be changing tyres. I should think Prost's timing is probably better than most, because it gets him away from the traffic problems, and half distance they haven't quite reached yet, but it is not, of course, remembering the cars are that much heavier in the first half of the race, so it's well before half distance. It is actually halfway through the work that the tyres have to do.
And Gerhard Berger is certainly not giving up as Mansell crosses the line to complete his 29th lap. The gap between him and Berger is down to 1.6 seconds. Berger lapping marginally faster. Senna is lapping faster than both of them. 1 minute 20.6 for Senna, 1 minute 20.9 for Mansell, 1 minute 20.7 for Berger. And Martini is now up into 4th place. Patrese is 5th. Lutsen is 6th, and that, of course, is because Alain Prost has been in for tyres. The first of the front runners, he did so on lap 28. We just completed lap 29. Alain Prost, in fact, is in 8th place, and ahead of him is Stefan Johansson in the Onyx.
And that's March with a stalled engine, mechanics leaping on it to give it a push.
It was Mauricio Gugelmin, and you can see that Ayrton Senna is now just about 1.5 seconds behind Gerhard Berger, lapping quicker, marginally quicker. Maybe he is conserving his tyres better than Gerhard Berger in front of him, and Berger looks as though he's going into the pits. Indeed he is. On lap 35, Gerhard Berger goes into the pits, and Ayrton Senna goes up into 2nd place. So one of the Ferraris has stopped, one of the McLarens has stopped. Let's look at the time. 8 seconds would be a good time, and the Ferrari is away in 6.8 seconds. That has to be one of the fastest 4 tyres and wheel stops I have ever seen in a Grand Prix. A superlatively good time. It's delayed Gerhard Berger the absolute minimum. We know Prost started going faster after he was on fresh rubber. Gerhard Berger will do exactly the same thing. And now Senna goes into the pits, and Mansell stays out. Riding with Nigel Mansell, Ayrton Senna, the second of the 2 McLarens, comes into the pits, and there's Ron Dennis out with a board which says brakes, and that is to tell the driver to keep his foot on the brakes to stop the rear wheels from turning. And that is a slower, much slower pit stop than that of Gerhard Berger. It's twice as long, 12.9 seconds. So Senna's lost 6 seconds to Berger on the pit stop.
Yes, and Berger went past as Senna was car was just being dropped off the jacks then. So Berger certainly has retained his position ahead of Senna on the road. Now we'll look to see if Senna has got out in front of Alain Prost. Yes, and Senna got out just in the nick of time, because he's got out not only ahead of Prost, but with a 4-car gaggle, or approximately 4-car gaggle of back markers between himself and Prost. So he'll be pleased about that. I would have thought that Mansell, if he's going to change tyres, ought to be wanting to change them very soon. There is the Ferrari crew ready, so it looks very much the blankets are still on the tyres, but I thought they might have been just taking him off, in which case he's probably announced he's coming next time he comes to start-finish straight.
And it looks to me as though this is Mansell's stop. He's coming into the pit lane now, and he leads. Now I'm going to be watching very carefully to see if Martini goes by before Mansell comes out, in which case the Italian will be in the lead.
Yes, and Thierry Boutsen has put up a new fast stat for the race on fresh tyres, and there's confusion now. Mansell's missed his pit. This is a disaster for Nigel Mansell. And that is very strange. That is theoretically driver error, but I think the McLaren team weren't giving him a very good sight of his marks, because you come on to marks, so that really is a disastrously long stop for Mansell.
Nigel Mansell back into the race after that botched pit stop. It's cost him over 20 seconds, and he could be as low as 4th. And hello, who's that? It's Warwick. It's Derek Warwick out, and you can see that he's hit something very hard indeed. So Derek Warwick joins the retirements. But the excitement, of course, is all at the front. What a race this has been. This is lap 40 out of 71. And there's Warwick. And something or someone has hit his left front. He is skating in, trying to get back to the pits. So here is a replay of Nigel Mansell coming into the pits. And what a terrible pit stop it was. He goes to the left, avoiding the Ferrari mechanics. He's overshot. That's made a dreadful mess of it, and he's lost a lot of time. Race order now on the 42nd lap is that Gerhard Berger is 1.9 seconds ahead of Ayrton Senna, who is 1 second ahead of Martini, third, who is 1.8 seconds ahead of Mansell, fourth, who is 2 seconds ahead of Prost, fifth. Johansson is sixth. Vanini is seventh. Patrese is eighth. Ninth is Boutsen. In 10th position is Jonathan Palmer. 11th is Martin Brundle. 12th is Nakajima. 13th is Alio, who has been lapped. 14th is Sala. Then is Gugelmin in 15th position.
And Mansell breaks the lap record on that lap, his first clear lap without traffic on his own after his tyre stop on the fresh rubber, 1 minute 19.213. So tremendous view now of Mansell's task, and that is his immediate task is to get on first of all on terms with Ayrton Senna and then find a way around. He did it earlier in the race, so he knows he can do it. He's not quite close enough, I don't think, this time to take benefit from the tow. I think he'll need to be about 3 lengths closer than that as they come onto the pit straight. It's difficult to tell with that foreshortened head-on shot just exactly how far they are apart as they approach so far away down at the other end of the straight. But I think there's no doubt that Mansell is the fastest man on the circuit. When he's got a clear circuit, he's now climbing all over the back of Ayrton Senna. It'll be really nice to see it from Mansell's camera just right beside his head. So it's very close to being his view. Having a look, but only a short dab on the brakes there, not really room to get in position down the hill. Hard on the brakes, the right-hander.
This is lap 46, and there is no doubt about the fact that Nigel Mansell can get past, or is there? Because Senna is easing away again.
Well, it's these last few corners where Nigel's got to get very close, so he's close on to the final start-finish race, and we've got a black flag. But we'd rather be watching the back of Senna's car from that of Nigel Mansell. And to whom is that being held? Black flag and a number. We need to see the number. Black flag with a number held up means that that person who owns that number has to come into the pits.
I think it was being shown to Senna. I can only surmise, and to use that word again, hypothesize, that Senna's car may be throwing out oil. It's been spotted and they want him to come in. But he won't be at all anxious to do that, of course. That really would ruin his World Championship chances. We'll see. The black flag means, if it's shown with a number, must stop at the pit within 1 lap and report to the clerk of the course. I can see Senna getting out of his car and marching off to find the clerk of the course. Lap 47, 24 laps to go. Berger leads now by 5.3 seconds. He's pulled away from this battle between Senna in second place, Mansell in third position. Prost is 7 seconds behind Mansell in fourth position. The World Championship leader, Alain Prost. Fifth is Stefan Johansson, and that is a magnificent performance in the Onyx. He was fastest in pre-qualifying. He finished, of course, in fifth position in France to get the first point for Onyx. In sixth position, it's Patrese, still ahead of his teammate Boutsen. There is Berger passing, and it is Senna. It is Senna. It's either Senna or Mansell, and I can't see why it should be Nigel Mansell, but that flag is again being shown to as they go past.
Unless they're showing it to Mansell for being pushed backwards down the pit road, which is theoretically illegal, I believe, even though it was only a car length. It could be Mansell if somebody's being really ridiculous on the rules, but that's a guess of mine, and it's only a guess, and I hope nothing petty like that is happening to Mansell, and I hope nothing petty like bringing somebody in for just hazing out a bit of oil that isn't actually making the track dangerous, which would be the case in Senna, if you're right about Senna throwing oil, Murray. But we need to see the number that they're hanging out. We can't tell. I see a 27, don't I, through the man's legs? I think I didn't look like a 1 to me. Now, Bernie Eccleston was going up on the rostrum there, looking like a man intent on remonstrating with the officials. Bernie Eccleston is the boss of Fokker. He also is part of Pisa as Mansell. Yeah, we do think that's a 27 on the board, so now I'm quite sure Mansell will ignore that and be told to by Ferrari until such time as it can be sorted out. And Eccleston will be up there remonstrating, and they're waving it hard to Mansell, who will claim he can't see it because he's looking up right up Senna's wing.
And Mansell is trying to go through and goes off, both off.